welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, and we are on site for where the Hampton Cup Regatta is going to be, and we're getting you ready for it. Let me let you meet two of the organizers, Lisa Adkins and Kraig Cole. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
You know, we've been doing this interview for a few years, and this is the first time we've gotten to be outside and with that amazing boat in the background.
It's an amazing event, Robin. Like we've been to your place a few times in the studio, and we said, hey, let's do it outside, right where we had the event. This is the premier event I like to say it's the premier event for the city, but it's certainly the premier event in our mind.
It's in the top 5 for sure, every year.
But this is where you see some of the best racing on the East Coast. I've said that numerous times. You know, we have the best water, we have the best location. You know, people love coming to Hampton. You know, we have these guys that are coming from across the country, and we talk to them, they're like, man, you make us feel so welcome. And that's one of the things we really strive for, not just on the family side where the spectators are and everything, but our other family over here on the pits. And this is really the start of our pit area. We have a grandstand over here. We're at the end of turn 1. You know, our straightaways, I don't know how much you can see of the camera behind us, but they're the straightaways parallel to Mercury Boulevard Bridge. And you'll see some of the high-speed turns right here, turn 1, and you'll see them getting it back up turn 2, up to back straightaway up to turn 2, come back around, do it all over again.
Yeah, it's so cool, and there'll be grandstands like right there. So this is the view that people can have. One of the two views. The big one, of course, is the Mercury Boulevard Bridge. You guys shut that down. You've got food and beverage options there.
Options, your full options. Yep, from your little kids to your adults, to your adult kids.
Yeah, but I mean, you could bring a picnic blanket and just kind of sit here.
Over in this area, you could. We don't put vendor out here. It's pretty much on your own per se. You know, we're still here to monitor everything. But we do put the grandstand so you can have an elevated view. That was one of the things that was key whenever we started working with FMA. We got with Glenn Oder, I can't say enough good things about those guys. They're a very big supporter. Some of the things we got to come through some of the wickets, but we come through those fairly easy. But we talked to Glenn about it a few years ago. He's like, oh yeah, by all means, we want to put it there. We want to attract people to Fort Monroe, and that's where we are.
So you guys like to say you are the oldest. Okay, you tell me, Lisa.
This is actually our 90th running of the Hampton Cup Regatta. We started in 1926, and it's not an anniversary, it's the 90th running of it.
Right, you gotta count year 1.
Exactly, we do count year 1. And this is the oldest continuously run motorsport event, to the best of our knowledge, in the United States. And we're very proud of that fact.
And the key word there is motorsport of any type.
Right, it's NASCAR on the water, right? It's loud. I will say that. We have peace and quiet today because it's not the race day, but I came by last year for a little bit, and yeah, it like rattles, just like NASCAR.
For anyone who hasn't been out here, if you've been to Langley Speedway, very similar noise level. Speaking of Langley Speedway, we do partner a lot with those guys out there. We'll be out there for the Hampton Heat. We'll promote the race. They come out here, they promote their deal. Bill Mullis and Chuck Hall, they do a lot for us. We try to do as much for them as we can. We like to think we're one big racing family.
Well, one of the things I love is, you brought with you this gorgeous boat, and it probably was here racing in the 50s. I don't think we know exactly the details, but tell me a little bit about it.
We know that we started out here about the mid-50s. I've got some old photographs at home that I can see some of the buildings and track them out here. So this boat was built in 1952 by Henry Lauterbach. It's the first boat that he actually built for himself to race. And it's amazing. He was an amazing driver, he was an amazing boat builder, and there's just a long legacy of his family and others who've been coming out here forever. One of the nice things that we like to promote within the event is that it's a family event, it's put on by families, and it's for families. We have, in fact, last year at our pit area, we had a little photo shoot where we had multi-generational racing families, and we took some pictures, and we're going to hope to display those out there this year. I come from a very strong racing background. My dad raced for over the course of about 20 years. And was fortunate enough he always drove Lauterbach boats, so I'm kind of proud of that fact. And he was actually a very good friend with Henry Lauterbach, and now I'm fortunate enough to be friends with Steve, who owns the boat, and also with Larry Lauterbach, his son. So it's just from generation to generation, it just passes on through.
And this one was restored. I mean, people might look at those colors. Those were the original colors. That is gold leaf on the lettering. It is the custom trailer that was built for that boat at the time. I mean,
this is the original trailer.
Holy cow.
They found it in Chicago about 7 years ago. It was about a 6-year project to restore it.
6 years to restore, and that some of the wood had to be replaced, he said was a little bit rotten, but most of it is the original boat with a engine from, okay, I'll say it wrong.
1937, little V8 engine in there. Yep.
One of the comments I was going to make, a lot of folks when they see the boats racing, they're assuming that a lot of these are fiberglass hulls. They're not. The vast majority of them are wood.
They're starting to do a little overlay with carbon fiber to add some strength to it, but but essentially it's a wooden boat. And the amazing part about that is we've got a couple boats that are on the circuit that have been out there for 20 years, just with little refining touches here and there. You'll never see that in a motorsports, an auto car. I mean, cars, it just doesn't happen. It will not happen.
So you have how many different kinds of boats that race out here?
There's basically 3 different kinds. You have a hydroplane, which is going to be the modern day version of this boat, and it has a 3-point stance on it.
Wait, slow. What is a 3-point stance?
All right, that's where if you look, you've got these little, they're called sponsons. A hydroplane is going to ride on a pocket of air. So the whole idea is when the boat gets going, it's not actually plowing through the water, it's actually elevated and it's riding on this pocket, and that's what helps do that.
Okay,
so
and how fast do those go?
We have smaller boats that are probably about 14 feet long. In fact, our T-boat class is kind of a beginner class. Kids who are 14 years old can actually get into that. And then they've got to wait till they're about 16 to step up into any of the bigger classes. Those guys probably 50 to 70 miles an hour. Some of our bigger classes are going to go in excess of 100 miles an hour. So depending on the conditions.
Up to 140.
Yeah, and we've got the other 2 kinds of boats we have. We have Jersey Speed Skiffs. And actually it looks like it's a fishing boat. It looks like just sitting still, you could just get your rod and reel out and have a good time. That's the only one that has 2 people in it. So you'll see a driver and you'll see a passenger in there, and it's an open cockpit with the roll bar. So the fun part about that is they can still wave to the spectators and kind of participate with the crowd a little bit.
Okay, now those go up when because
they
kind of a fishing boat, but then
you'll see them
they kind of bounce. Yeah, it's one of these things where they kind of bounce back and forth.
And when they hit those turns in the course, you see they're looking straight on flat. That's how much they're turning.
Oh my gosh.
The third type of boat that we have out here is called a flat bottom, and basically it looks like a ski boat. You're just kind of looking for the skier to be hanging out behind it. There's a number, and it depends on the type of boat that you have. The hull's going to look essentially the same. You've got small engines, medium, and then like full-on blown alcohol engines.
So how fast is your fastest boats tend to move out here?
Probably out here, we've had probably 140, 150.
Up to 150.
Yeah, and that's a straightaway speed. So, I mean, you can't quite maintain that in the corner.
No.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about like the boats, there's up to 12 different classes amongst those 3 types.
Okay.
Our pits are open. That's one thing we talked about the past few years.
Yeah.
We want the public, the drivers, the owners, want the public coming out and see these boats, see them turn the wrenches, talk to them. That they love showing their this is their baby. This is their pride and joy. This is basically all their fall, winter, and early springtime go into getting ready for the next year. But
and you're going to have the drivers also
yes.
over at the bridge, meeting people, signing autographs.
We're going to place a tent probably about mid bridge. We'll have a logo wall behind them, just like Hollywood Premiere. We'll have the dedicated golf cart coming back and forth to the pitch to bring racers up as time permits for them. Because some of these racers actually do race multiple class boats. They might get from one to another. So if they're available, we're going to bring them up, have an autograph table. We actually have a 8x10 card to hand out that they can sign. That's going to be a freebie. Anybody wants to come up and get an autograph, they can take it with them. Get your picture taken with the driver, talk to them.
That's cool for the kids.
Yeah, I mean that's cool for the adults.
It also works with that family atmosphere thing where you're interacting really with the stars.
I mean, like we've talked before, we're all about the families out here. We've got a kids area down here at the end of the bridge. We've got the little motorized cars. You've seen them. We've got a church group that comes out from, I think it's from Calvary down in Buckrow. They've got a lot of activities occupied the kids because sometimes kids get a little bored in between the heats, that kind of thing.
Right.
You know, take them down there, do everything you want to do with them. Our ABC line runs from end to end, so they won't have an issue with having to cross anything. If mom and dad have something with them they want to take to the kids area and watch a kid play, they can do that. We do not allow coolers or pets out there, unfortunately.
It's too crowded for
it really, I mean, we're dog lovers. I know there's been different issues out there with different festivals about can you bring them, can you not bring them. Out here on the bridge in August, it can get hot. I don't want to scare anybody off from that, but it can get hot. We've got plenty of things for the humans, But unfortunately with the dogs, it's just not fair to them to bring them out there, so that's why we have that rule. And obviously with the coolers, we have to be able to control what's coming into space because it is, ABC area. But if you have, the kids' diaper bag, baby bag, whatever, those are certainly welcome. You can bring them on. We'll take care of those kids too. We do have our sponsors area. You'll see that. Anybody wants to be a sponsor, email us at hcr1926@gmail. I'll be glad to get back with you.
Okay. You guys are always the first weekend in August, right?
It bounces back and forth between the 1st and 2nd.
Okay.
What we have to do is follow the tide schedule. So it would be wonderful if we could always say that we were on the first weekend, but low tide out here doesn't work for the bigger classes. And one of the things that I forgot to mention, we actually do have a 4th kind of boat out here. They're called J-Stock Hydros, and they are for the kids who are between 9 and 13 years old. It's a very, very much a beginner's class. They have just a hand grip on the boat. It's a very small boat. It has a tiny little outboard engine on it. And we even have the capability that if a child comes out with their family and they look and they think that's kind of a cool thing they want to do, we have a try it before you buy it. They have boats, they have the helmet, they have the life jacket. They will instruct them just to see if it's something that they like before mom and dad go invest a bunch of money into it. So we've got a number of young people now who are racing regular hydroplanes and skiffs who started off in the J class.
That's great.
So we try very hard to promote that.
Okay, so dates for 2015 are?
August 8th and 9th.
August 8th and 9th. I guess that is, it's bordering on the second weekend.
It's the second weekend,
Right at it, right.
Okay, so 8th and 9th. And do you know the times? Times also depend a little bit on the tides, right?
Bridge, spectators can come in and start at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Racing typically doesn't get started until about noon because of the tides and some logistical things we have to get going in. And we run until approximately about 5 o'clock depending on our boat count and obviously weather, which is very important to mention. We do not cancel a boat race.
Ever.
We might have a rain delay. We've got plenty of tent space.
If you got lightning, you've got to.
Yes.
We come off the water, but it's a rain delay.
But as soon as that passes through, we're right back on there. You look at the water today. This is perfect. This is perfect, and it's even flatter if we have a rain delay and the storm passes by, and we get right back out there going at it. Past couple of years, we've had a rain delay. We've ran up until dark, and you see some of the best racing you can ever see. Our bridge is still open. You come back, and you can. See that racing, even that rain delay, but we don't have to dry a track. We've got a water course. As soon as the rain stops, we're back out there and going at it.
A ball field or a track.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it this year. Can't wait to come back. I might watch it from here, or I might go visit the bridge. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Come on and see us.
Yeah.
Everybody, come on out and see us.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Robin.
And thank you for watching. I hope we will see you out here at the Hampton Cup Regatta in August. Don't miss it. It's a wonderful event. Thanks for watching.